Page 247, this is number 3 at the top of the page, Etude. Oh, let's see what we got. It's 2 lines long, treble bass clef, 2 flats in the key signature, so it's either in the key of B flat major or G minor. If you look at the last measure here, that's a G minor chord. I'm guessing we're in G minor. However, do the scales on arpeggios for both, B flat major and G minor. And hopefully you know them by now, so you can start doing them 2 octaves. If you don't know them, stick with 1 octave until you know what the notes are. And 6/8 time, so that explains all the 8th notes everywhere. An 8th note gets a count. Let's take it 1 hand at a time. Right hand, you're here. Puts the hand here. 1, 2, 3, 1. Remember, the dotted quarter note is the same as 3 8th notes. And that doesn't matter what the key's time signature is. It's always that. So here it's 3 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Reach up. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, 5. Rest. And then during the rest of it, you come back down. You can do that. You got to rest. You can move. I would prefer not to. I'm just going to stay there and use 3rd finger. 2, 3, 4. And then a thumb and then a little finger. I'm going to move on the D at the end. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, thumb, here. Now I'm back. Then 4, 2, 3, and then what, thumb again? No. There's no point in using thumb on the end. You're here, use 3rd finger. If I had something later which required a thumb on that G, then yes, thumb is fine. But when you're at the end like that, there's no point. You're here, just do it. I disagree with thumb on that. Left hand, well, it's broken chords. So just play them as block chords at first. The first measure is this, it's 1 chord. 2nd measure, then the 3rd measure, it's a 4 chord. 5th measure, it's here, it's a 5/7. Both of those are 5/7 chords because remember the 5/7 chord has 4 notes, the whole thing, and that's what it is. We're just doing that. It's a 5/7 chord, and then they come down here. Well, this, if I put the G on the bottom, it's here. Now, which chord is that? It's a 1 chord. It's a 1 chord, except in here, we're down here, the B's on the bottom. It's a 1 chord, measure 6. A 1 chord and a 1 chord, different versions. Then we come up here. Well, what chord is that? Well, I need it in root position, so I'm going to put the A on the bottom and here. What chord is that? Well, that's a 1, that's a 2. It's a 2 chord. That's all. But it's not in root position. We put the A on top. It's still a 2 chord. And then we come up here. What's this chord? Well, again, I want it in root position so I can see what's going on. It's here. It's that 5/7 chord again. 5/7 chord 1. So with the last 2 measures, you have a 2 chord, 5/7 chord, and a 1. That's your cadence going in. Oh, I'm sure they'll talk about cadences eventually. That's what it is. It's a nice chord progression to end the piece. But then as far as the broken chords, well, just roll it by bottom, middle, top. Just transferring weight from finger to finger here, and the wrist will do whatever the wrist does. It generally goes in a circle, but it does it by itself. I don't force anything. I'm just playing the notes. If you don't want to be up in here, you can do that. I don't know how big your hands are. Measure 5. Reach. Here you don't have much of a choice in measure 6. You got to come from here to here. That's a stretch. So unless your hand is really big, you got to move down. That's okay. Make it as connected as you can, though. Then we put the hands together and see what kind of a mess we got here. It's here. Well, the first line wasn't too painful, but that second line, look out. We're here. I use a slightly different fingering in the left hand than they do, but the fingering in the book is fine. And then once I have that, I go back through it carefully and get rid of the hesitation. So these left hand quarter note or eighth notes, these are eighth notes, I know what they are all even throughout. Then the articulation. This is pretty connected. Basically, it's two phrases, is it? Yeah, that's one thought. So we got two phrases, one for each line. So I'm going to connect the right hand all the way through and lift up for the rest at the end. The left hand, I'm going to attempt to connect it all the way through, even though I can't. I'm going to try. So it's very connected. Then the dynamics. Well, all I give is MF. Mezzo forte is moderately loud. That's the melody here. Whatever you think moderately loud. These chords need to be soft. That's going to be another challenge for you. You've got to love it because you're busy. And anytime you get busy like that, you'll just automatically start getting louder. It'll just happen. You'll start out fine. Time you're getting into it, you're way too loud in the left hand. So you have to be aware of it. You are now because I just told you. And listen to it and keep it down. Keep the left hand out of the way. Now the speed. Well, we're back to that moderato in 6/8 time. So exactly what is moderato here? Because is it the speed of the beat? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. That's a nice moderato for the beat. For the feel of it, it's slow. So maybe it's the feel of it, natural accents. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is that it? 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Well, there the left hand goes nuts. It's an etude. I'm kind of thinking that's probably what he wanted. He wants to challenge your left hand. Can you keep it smooth and even and under control and quiet throughout the whole thing and still do all those notes? It's up to you. Everybody's moderato will be a little bit different. But in my opinion, the moderato feels more toward or applies more toward the natural accents, the overall feel of the piece, than to the beat. Different people will interpret it differently. That's fine. I mean, if you really wanted to know how it should sound, then you need to listen to the composer play it. And it's a little late from that, based on when he lived, yeah. I feel a little diminuendo at the end. Maybe even a ritardando there, I don't know. He didn't put in a ritardando as far as I know. I don't know if he did or not, because a lot of times people who do these books, they edit the things and they change the dynamics and expression and all that. So I don't know if the composer, maybe when he played it himself, he may have done that. Now they want you to transpose this to A minor. So we're going from G minor to A minor. A minor has no sharps or flats, except we're going to use a G sharp because we're using harmonic minor. And there you just basically, everything goes up one note. Instead of here, you're here. Here, for the melody, everything just went up one note. And here, same thing, is just go up one note. Measure 5, instead of an A, it's an A, a B. Instead of a C, it's a D. And instead of a D, it's an E. And then here it's that 5/7 chord. And then here, so instead of a B, it's a here. Here. And then here. You have to figure out what the notes are, and then you just gradually try and put it together. See, measure 5, instead of an A, I'm playing a B. And here, C, and then here, here. I got it figured out. All the notes just went up one key, went up a step. You went up a whole step, you just take everything up a whole step. If you do that, you don't have to worry about sharps or flats. You just take everything up a whole step. So instead of a B flat, I'm playing a C. That's a whole step. And in the third measure, the A, I go up a whole step. I go up a whole step. So in the third measure, for instance, it's the notes in the music is a C. Well, I go up a whole step. I'll play a D. And then instead of a D, I play an E. And instead of an E flat, because the E flat's in the, I'll play an F. So every note just went up a whole step. So if I do that, I don't have to worry about sharps and flats and all. I'm just taking it up a whole step from where it's written. It's another way of looking at it. There's different ways of handling this. And I would encourage you to kind of try them all out, kind of get accustomed to all of them, because in one situation, one works better, and in another situation, another way might work better. Let's play this together slowly and check the notes and rhythms as it's written. I'll give us 6 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, ready, go. Rest.